Hey yo, what's up? Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Hope you all are having a great week and a great day. I myself having a good day and starting my weekend. So this is my Saturday. And listen, I got Married at First Sight to here to talk to you about. It's the new seasons that's on Peacock. It usually be on Lifetime, and now they switched a whole new host, which is Peacock. Let's see what they do, because usually on streaming services or streaming apps, they usually have more leeway in doing shows than on network. And supposedly it's not going to be too long and dragged out like Lifetime was. Because, Lifetime was like, he was like, when they're going to end? That was a good season, then you would be into it, but it still be long. My journey of Married at First Sight, those who want to come in, hold up, before I start. Ooh, hold up. Shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful like diamond in the sky. What's up? Got the black one today, Rebel. Listen, my journey Married at First Sight started in season 12. So, I haven't watched it since the beginning. I started season 12. It was a Christmas Page season because that was on everybody been talking about it. So I watched that. And then since then, I have been on and off with the seasons. So not every season since season 12 I have watched. I watched that season. I think I maybe see the Alondra and Katina season, that season. And I saw last season. Definitely, last season was not bad. And yes. So, it's still be an on and off thing with Married at First Sight. With that being said, we know we had like a huge scandal last season with the whole switch up of the freaking couples. A new couple got together based on from their own perspective relationships that didn't work out, and then they had sneaked in, being with each other, and they had a big blowout at towards the end of the season, and it's like crazy. So I don't even know if they still together or not. I don't know. Y'all, and the people who were following them, y'all let me know if they still are together, because that was ridiculous. However, we got this new season. Now, I'm not trying to make this long. Depends how many people come in and interact with me on this show. I know. Whatever. But for this season, they got 5 new couples, and they had a little shock in this season as well. I guess they wanted to top off last season. So this season, they decided to have freaking 2 contestants who are related to each other being on the show, a mother and daughter, both on Married at First Sight. And when I saw that, I was like, really? I said, so y'all thought it was a good idea to do that? Now, it'd be interesting to see the dynamics of the group when, they shared, they was a mother and daughter duo and everything. I don't know. I mean, a lot of them was like they were shocked a little bit, but they wasn't too upset or whatever. They was all supporting. They all in this journey together. So it may be a bond between those two. They both on the same journey together in this one show. But I was like, wow. And also another thing they doing this year that they usually don't do is having the older generations on the show. Usually they have like a cutoff, like people mostly like be like in 40s and less. But now they have people in like the 60s or the 50s, stuff like that, and they marriage journey. And I say, you know what? Sometimes people in the older generation do get married later on in life. So it's interesting to see representation in cross generations. Some people watch the show and realize that they got inspiration. Now, I don't know if they would even get in the show called Married at First Sight in the way that they do it, but it just shows that, listen, it's not just the younger ones, it's the older ones that still chasing marriage, just chasing the favorite child ending and whatnot, and want to be loved and want to be have a partner. I don't know. I'll say if I'm in that stage, I don't know if I ever want to get. If I ain't married before then, I ain't think I'll get married then. I say it is what it is. But those you're watching, make sure you hit the like button. Please support the video and make the like button. Let the YouTube algorithm shows that you're interested in my content and whatnot. So yes, I have pictures of the contestants, what they look like, and I was going to explain how I feel, what they little backstory, a little bit, explain how I feel, and then call it a day. And yes, I will continue the rest of the season. The Bell Collective and the Unlocked Family Secret will be done next week and everything because the last 2 weeks the views hadn't been all that great and the likes was very low. So I don't know, maybe people are interested or what. But this year is on Austin, Texas, and they have the three experts: Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pia. Why do we need Dr. Pia again? Who asked for her? She agitated me last season. I can't do with Dr. Pia. Now, Dr. Pepper, she's okay. She's cool, mellow. Pastor Cal, sometimes he got his little moments. So they was in charge of, getting people together, interviewing people and trying to match up the couples. And, what they did this season is that usually they have like an episode or two or whatever showcasing the process and meeting people homes and all that stuff like that. They did a fast process. They sit down with people and ask them questions and whatnot. And then they have a conversation with them, talking with each other and why did they pair these couples up the way they are. And usually it's similarities and whatnot. They try not to do what they usually do is try to pair people in opposites. If someone who's this way paired to someone who's this way and see if they can balance each other out, it's like that's a big no-no and people hated it and it wasn't becoming successful in the couples. Now, the success rates in Married at First Sight hasn't been that high anyway. It's very low. They had like 19 seasons right now and only like 11 couples still together from the show. And I think 13 children. So I said, that's great. That's great. And more power to the people who's still together from Married at First Sight thing. But the percentage rate is not high. It's not really high. And success rate. And there's shows like this, you're not expected to have a high success rate anyway. Because, people come from company shows for different reasons. Some of them want fame, notoriety, and whatnot. Some people come with the false pretenses and lying and whatnot. And even after this vigorous background checking they claim to be doing, people still slip through the cracks with these lies and whatnot. So, with that being said, let's get into the season and let's start. All right. Should I go to a couple? You know what? I should go to people how they first appeared on the show. Let's do that. Let's do Jalen and Josh. Yes, sorry, y'all. I put their names in black and didn't realize that it might be too hard to see their names. But whatever. Next time I might do it, I might change it to white or something like a lighter color so you can probably see the names. However, there's two couples right here as I'm talking about. This is Jalen. This is Josh. And let's get into it. They the first couple to get married in Married at First Sight. Jalen is 27. Josh is 31. Josh said he's a very affectionate person. You can tell that he loves kisses. You can tell in that episode, like he loves one kiss all the time, be hugging, touching, an affectionate person. I said, okay, cool. It seemed like he liked physical touch. Like, and he want communication. He said he'd be raised by his grandma. I mean, both his parents is not in the picture in this marriage, in this episode. I think he said he didn't really get along with his dad. He just met his dad recently, and that his mom has been like in and out of trouble. She has been trustworthy, so his grandparent is the one who raised him, his grandmother, and grew up poor and whatnot. And he owns his roofing company and whatnot. He making money. At one point, he grew up poor, and then now he has a really great. He's very successful money wise in the roofing company, and that's something needed when people buy houses and stuff like that. And they roofs, you get a roofing company, and that's lucrative business. He wants someone who's like a biggest supporter, a biggest cheerleader for him, and whatnot. Jada, she said she's interested in having kids, and a family. She wants the fairy tale ending, and he's like, yada yada. A lot of people like that fairy tale ending. And I say we cannot be in this freaking 30s and 40 years old saying we want the fairy tale endings. At the end of the day, just be realistic. Usually, it's not always where it cracked up to be. People they want the perfection. They look for this. It's like listen. Catch who they are and what they are, and just live. You're trying to reach the unattainable quest. It's not going to happen. So she wants someone who's adventurous, and she's close to her family. She says, I don't think she's never really been in love like that, but she's instructor, she's a psycho instructor, she also a realtor and whatnot. So she did talk about she had relationships with people before, and this before she said how she had an ex person she was dealing with, and that ex person passed away, and then she also had a current boyfriend that she just broke up with, and he cheated on her. So she hasn't been really had successful in the relationship department with some of her boyfriends, and she gave him a gift. It was nice, said because cheating and stuff like that. I don't think he gave her a gift. What it is, and whatnot. But I think he said his mom broke his trust, so he hasn't been there. So these two has been like, well, yeah. I want to talk about their little couple trip later. I'm just going to do the introduction first and whatnot. They want communication, and then in the midst of the day, because after they get married, they had the reception and whatnot, and they talked to each other's family and whatnot, and yes. So in the midst of that, Jaden had Josh, and they into there, and Jaden's mother, which is Belinda, right here. That's what I said. They both on this cast, which I said, oh, really? She said, I would like to invite you, son-in-law, to my wedding. She said, all right, I will be honored. And he said, when it's wedding and everything, I'm thinking, say, oh, maybe it's gonna be down the line. She invited you and everything. She said, oh, it's gonna be tomorrow. Yes, I'm getting tomorrow. I'm also on Married at First Sight. He was shocked. They both was like, Jada was giggling because she knew about it. And I was like, what is going on here? Really? Really? Okay. So that's that. Let's go to the next couple introductions. It was Brittany and Will. Brittany and Will. Yes, you can't really see the names like that, but you see the pictures. So Brittany Will is 30. Brittany is 29. She said she wants a mature relationship. He said he wants someone who's like fun, and they both want kids. It's like that. She said she grew up with a two-parent household, but her parents were not in love. So they just stick around for the kids, and usually that's not always a good thing because with children could see that their parents are not in love with each other, and it affects them. And then knowing that, and the parents act like they doing it for the kids, not knowing that the kids realize, no, they know what's up. They know when the kids, their parents not in love and they not doing things and whatnot, and affects them. So the fact that you just doing it for the kids, they rather see you being happy and separated and then being together and unhappy and just doing it for the sake of us. And when the kids get older and move out, then y'all do what y'all do. I said, it's just you gotta just leave. You just stick it in and stick it in. But most people do that. They stick in it for the kids, even though they're not in love with each other. And he said his parents divorced when they was 12, when he's 12. So that's that. Her current relationship, she said, most of her relationships have not been past 3 months. I said, "Oh, what's going on? Why 3 months? Are you cutting it off at 3 months, or what's happening?" So, if usually your old relationship usually don't go past 3 months, it's usually something what you doing, Brittany. Maybe the man might be doing some things too, but if each your relationship ended at 3 months, it's either you have a cutoff point or something's happening that it just happening so fast, and it just ends around that mark. But she said one longest relationship was years ago when her first boyfriend, but everything since then her recent relationships have not been past 3 months. And she was getting prepared, and they broke down a little bit because her older sister could not be around, and they said her older sister would have been love to be there. And, she passed away doing a panorama, so how troubling time that was for the country right now. So Will wants someone who's intellectual. He a tech consultant. She's working in human resources. And then she mentioned that how she don't sleep on sheets. I mean, we were having this conversation, and I did a reception, and she said she bring her own blanket, and she don't sleep on sheets. So I was like, so your bed don't have any sheets on it, and you just have blankets? Or when they would talk about she don't sleep on sheets of the hotel room. I mean, I want to understand that because, sometimes it's not sanitary. So I was thinking that's what she's saying, but I don't know. So her dad says she's a strong woman and hope Will could be able to handle her. I say, yeah, it's maybe levels to the strong woman thing in one way and whatnot. So Will is not too religious, which is not a bad thing, but that he got really strong opinions and strong values. And it seemed like he liked to be a contrarian, meaning that he liked to be opposite for no reason. And if somebody likes something, he wanted to do the opposite or argue the opposite for some apparent reason. And that's what he is. And throughout the episode, he was saying a lot of big words and whatnot. I mean, we don't understand the words, but he was saying the words, and his friends was like, "What were you saying?" Like, they're actually words, and he liked to be smart. So sometimes people who are smart, they try to play with your mind a little bit and try to act like you're dumb, and you're dumb, and they're the smart ones, and you don't know any better, and whatnot. So I gotta see how Will's move. Because at some points of the show, I do feel like he thinks he's better than her or whatnot. But now we're going to talk about Brittany too, because she could calm down a little bit as well. But we'll see how it goes. So we're going to see how it goes, because these two people, it was draining to watch them interact with each other, communicate with each other. I said it's very hard for them to communicate with each other and then come common ground, but we'll get into that. So then we got Megan and Derek. Megan and Derek. Let me look at this. So Megan is 38. Derek is 38. Derek, he works in e-commerce. He's very ambitious. He also a CEO of his health and wellness business. And I think he's I guess he wants to have somebody who's like a little bit more extrovert, or he is extroverted as much. He's a more extroverted, yes. And she said she had two careers. She's a banking insurance, and she also do realtor. And her banking insurance is a family business, so she work with her family. And sometimes that could be tough, mixing of or separating family and business, and it could be difficult, especially her mom. Her mom is very like opinionated and wasn't on board with this whole marriage first sight experience. Even though she came in support, she still was not on board with this. So it's like it's very tell. You could tell the tension between those two, and I guess they always clash about things. Because also not only thing they work together, then she also is the mother. So it's like one thing. Her mom been married with her which I think the father, Megan's father, and her husband for years. So she don't believe in this kind of unorthodox, untraditional kind of way of marriage. She believes the old traditional way and whatnot. So she said she could see herself being with someone. She 2 years ago she folds an A. So when it's happening, like if she want kids, it maybe could happen one day. She's more introverted. She's family oriented. She said she got a life coach because she said it's very hard for her to balance her work and life balance. So she had a life coach to help her go through things. And sometimes it is like difficult for a lot of people to balance work and life because you have to pay these bills, stuff going higher, rate is going higher, and you need to support. Yeah, I don't know. So it just clocked off on me. Sorry about that. But it is what it is because it not get edited out. Yeah, so it's hard to work to balance the work and life balance. So hopefully they get it together. She said she want to go get her. She wants someone who just do things and is get what needs to get and inspire her. So she said her mom is very traditional. Her mom don't like this, and she got a gift from him. It's a ring box. She said her mom could be a little controlling and whatnot. And he got a gift from her because one part she said she liked to do like ice baths, and that's all other thing. So she gives him an ice bath to do, and he did it before he got married to her. And I said, look, I don't really like cold like that. So you're not getting me no damn ice bath. I'm not getting no ice bath. Water had to be warm for me to get inside, and not gonna be that too cold. So he wants his whole family. He want to settle down. He did move to Austin recently at one night, and that's that. So we want to talk more about that later on. But let's go to Wanda and Pat. Wanda and Pat. So Wanda is 63 years old. Pat is 59 years old. I say that's why I say they started having other couples, and I said, "Oh, that's nice. That's great. That's great. There's more representations to see how the thing's going." And maybe they give me more insight because some of them have been married before and they divorcees and all their life, no generations. So they can give different opinions of things. They had children, they raised their children grown. So it's interesting to see how they're going. And Rhonda is a ball for energy. I love her energy on screen. She just lively. She just up there. She's her own category herself. It's too much. And then Pat, we got Pat. So Rhonda, she said she had been married twice before. And I think the first time she got married was mostly to her kid's father. But then she said she was committed to him. And 3 months, I think within 3 months like that, he couldn't not get a job. And she said she can't just be the only one supporting the bill and supporting the family and that whatnot. So she had to let him go. And then she said how and then she quickly got divorced. And she got married quickly with him. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, it had a brief moment that the Wi-Fi went off a little bit. Is this a good show? I enjoy it. Like I said, Married at First Sight is like on and off for me. To me, generally, it's not a bad show. It's been on its 19th season. Some seasons are better than others. It depends on the season. Last season was good. Season 12 was good. Some seasons I haven't watched every season, but usually it depends on the season and everything. But generally, it has been a good show. I like it better than Love Is Blind. I do. I like it better than Love Is Blind. It's like that. So, but it's now it's on Peacock. So it's a give and take. Give and take. You can try it. You may enjoy it. You may not enjoy it. But I enjoy it a little bit because, yes, give it a try. Like I said, I started Married at First Sight late. So I didn't start off the beginning too. So I joined in one of like a crazy season. So it was entertaining. But like I said, they have its ups and downs when it comes to Married at First Sight. Some seasons have been great, other seasons have been not been good. So far, I'm enjoying this season because not only that, because get married right away, right off the bat, and then try to navigate the relationships, even though they both are completely strangers, and the issues and stuff like that. So that's interesting. So yeah, she said she got married quickly. I think 3 months, and he couldn't get no job and everything. She was divorced him, and then her second marriage ended like in 18 months. So that's that. And then Pat, he said he'd been married for 30 years. I think when his mother and children like that. But I guess they stayed for the children. I remember I told you that. Oh, I know that's right. I started Love and Marriage Hunter at the beginning. So that was Love and Marriage Hunter was my favorite show. I started from the beginning until it got messed stupid and crazy, and I just cut it off. I was saying, nah, I can't do with the show anymore. She stayed. He's one of the people who stayed with the kids' marriage. Mel and Martell Contrail was married, divorcing. Yeah, she had to let him go because he is too much. That guy is too much. He stayed with the kids. He stayed in the marriage with the kids, even though him and his wife was you said corntail. Not corntail. Yes, he stayed with the kids. And I say sometimes that's not always good because the kids could feel that. So he got divorced, and it's been 5 years now. They're both adventurous, big family. It's like that. He worked in space operations, so a lot of his conversations about space and things like that, and science and documentaries and stuff and whatnot. But he said he typically live with his mother because he working to get her to a more stable relationship because I think his mother health is fading, and that's sometimes when you live your life and different thing, your parents are still living, they need help is okay. So I don't think it was a bad thing he mentioned, but he did mention it. He said his father passed away 3 years ago, so it was very hard and whatnot. And like I said, she has a ball of energy. Everybody else, every lady who got married in a white dress. She got married in a red dress. Cause I said, listen, She said she did that, she done that, and she is not an ordinary type of chick. So she got married in a red dress. She looked nice too. She looked very nice and beautiful. So they both are little lovers, and at the wedding time, they jumped in the pool. They had a good time, and they kissed up a storm. I said, all right, y'all go ahead, late lovers, y'all better do it. But at one point, she did forget his name. But I said, girl, his name is Pat. But she's 63. At that time, sometimes memories get lost. But like I said, I enjoy her. She's really good, and we'll see how this goes. But we're gonna talk about more about the interaction later on. Let me do the last couple, and then we get into the nitty gritty of things. And what was the last person? All right. Belinda and Chad. So earlier I talked about Jalen and Josh. Jalen and Belinda are both they mother and daughter. So like that. So I don't know. I don't know, but you can tell she ain't she not ordinary. So we got Belinda and Chad. Belinda is 47, and like I said, she's the mother of Jalen. And Jalen, I told you, she's 27. And she had her children starting at teenagers, so around 19, she had her children young. So I understand maybe that's the age range, and it makes sense. It's like that. And then Chad is 54. Chad like to have fun. He said most people who see him, they think he's this mean, bull-headed guy, because he may have the rested B face. And I said he may look like he mean, but he said nah. But he said he could be an asshole if he can to be. But I said, okay, you can leave that out. I mean, if you're not an asshole, you don't need to be. You could be one. So, but he said he had 4 marriages. This is gonna be his 4th marriage. He was married 3 times before. Oh yeah, Jackie. Like I said, Jackie's on her own league. So I know that's right. When you know who you are. Listen, if you are unapologetically yourself, nobody can tell you anything. So he said this is 4th marriage. He had 3 marriages before. I said, what happened to your other 3 marriages? What was going on with those other 3 marriages? But he was saying he was in the military, so that may explain why his marriages fell, because he had maybe have that strong military background, rigid, strict kind of upbringing and whatnot. So maybe that's why your marriages fell. And you say you're a loving, double guy. Okay. He said he worked in commercial real estate. Um, she wants marriage. She been married for, I think, for 20 years or something like that. I think she been married for 20 something years. They ended. Child, Jackie and Doug, I don't know why they keep getting mad. Let it be. All these recommitment ceremonies they be having. So she said she's been married before. She said she wanted fun. I think it was 20 years. And she said it was infidelity. I guess the husband was cheating, and she had 3 kids. She was a single for like 8 years, and she had her kids starting at 19. She wants to experience things that she haven't done before. So she might have a list. So she probably want a partner that be able to bring things to the forefront that make her experience things like skydiving. I'm just saying things. I mean, I don't think she said mention that, but like skydiving, going to the country and whatnot, and yada yada yada. So that's what she said. He said he could be stubborn. He said he want to have someone to do things with. So he want to do things with someone. She want to have somebody to show him things, and that could be a good match. Because they both have children. The children grown. They know to raise them. So y'all live your life. Live your life. That's what I said. I'm glad to see older people in the shows this season, because they never had it before. To see a different age generation and what life is like being married. And I know sometimes people still want to get married at later age in life, and not judging y'all and knocking y'all for doing that, but do you gotta do. But I'm gonna say, listen, one marriage is fine. But if I go to the second marriage, it's fine. After the second marriage, I ain't getting married again. I'm sorry, no ma'am, no him, no back of the cheese. I'm not getting married again. It's like it's too much. So I might just have fun. What's the point? And that's what they should. Both Chad, Belinda, and Rhonda Pat should just have fun. Don't take life so seriously, and just do you. And yes, you need to communicate. You need to be on the same page of things, so you don't want to get salty and you don't want to get it faulty, you don't want to get it hard and difficult in your relationship, as long as you're on the same page and y'all keep the same goal in mind and whatnot. And solve things in a mature way. Now that we'll see, we got Chad, Belinda, and Rhonda Pat. Maybe we'll see how they handle things and conflict compared to people who are younger, who do probably their first marriage and whatnot. They've been married before and everything. They probably should know things and how to handle relationship. But you never know. Maybe not. So Chad said he wants someone strong. He had to be strong, but he's loving. And I think he also went to a jewelry store and got her an upgraded ring. I think him did that, and I think Josh did that for Jalen. Got a little upgraded ring. They blinging. I said, oh, y'all just met each other, bro. Okay. So that was going on. Right. So then we get to the honeymoon. The honeymoon trip is to Panama. I said, all right, they go to Panama. Yeah, I do. I did Atlanta Housewives when its last season was up, and it's up on my channel. So I would do Real House of Atlanta when it come back again. So y'all stay tuned for that. So when it come back again, stay tuned. I used to do Atlanta and Potomac, but I don't know if you was around when I had my Potomac journey. I had stopped reviewing Potomac after the last season I stopped reviewing was the NECA season with Wendy and everything, and that's the season after that season Canada left. So I was like, that's it. I'm done with Potomac because I couldn't deal with it. It was getting so stupid. And Potomac used to be my favorite. So the only housewife show I watch is Atlanta right now. I don't watch Potomac anymore. Even if it's a good season. I know people saying it's a good season this year, but I said, even if it's good or not, it's not making me going back to it. It's not enough for me to go back to it. Yeah. So when Real House of Atlanta come back on, I will review it, Atlanta. So far, that's the only housewife show I watch right now. Salt Lake City, nah. I did try, but I just can't get into it. And even though that housewife season is good, compared to a lot of people, they say they enjoy it, but I just can't get into it. So the only one I watch right now is Atlanta. Unless something else new comes on and I can give you a try the first time, I know it's like they're doing like Rhode Island soon. Maybe I give that a try. I did try Dubai. Dubai was good. I only reviewed the first season. I didn't review the second season because, it is what it is. Because I think they took too long to come back. And then at that point, I would say I didn't want to watch anymore. Yeah. So we'll see. And Miami was not bad. I used to watch Miami too. And I think I reviewed a part of it, but I didn't review every season of Miami because I just wanted to watch it. But Miami's not too bad either. I hope Rhode Island is good. I would give Rhode Island a try. That it was also I did review Real Housewives of New York, the reboot. But I reviewed the first reboot season. I reviewed it. The second reboot season, nah, I didn't review it because I was like, it got stupid. Some of the people I was annoyed. I didn't enjoy them anymore. So it is what it is. So yes, Atlanta when they come back, I review it, and then if Rhode Island comes out, I give that a try. And if it's boring, I will not review it. But if it's good, then we'll see. All right, so when they into their honeymoons, whatever, they had a night together, honeymoon. Yeah, I heard Potomac got better, but the people I just can't get into it anymore. G-Neck and Ashley is not enough for me to watch the show anymore. And I can tolerate Wendy. Wendy's not that bad, but whatever. And the new ladies, I heard Stacey's really good. People enjoy Stacey, and I see the clips, and I say, yes, good Stacey. Stacey's there. She could handle herself and whatnot. A lot of people not really feeling Keena. A lot of people's not really caring for Angel because maybe Angel is not equipped to be with these ladies. And Tia, people like Tia and whatnot. Yes. But yeah, more power to Potomac. Hope they doing really well, everything and whatnot. And they do it well without having Cameron there either. So I was like, you don't need to have Cameron there. But she most likely will be back next season. More power to y'all. All right, let's get into it. So when Jada and Josh was talking, they was talking about something, and he was being like kind of funny about some things. And he said, "I don't know how to tell you. I got to tell you something." She said, "What?" She said, I don't know how you feel. My business partner, we got together, and he wants you, or we decided we need to sign a post now." Now she didn't seem too mad about that because at the end of the day, y'all strangers. So I don't think that was not a bad idea to sign the paper. Shoot. So where's the paper? Let me get the pen and let me sign it. Yes, because I like my own coins too. So if you could sign one, I mean, we could sign one itself, and we could just protect our own kind of assets and money. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how the future holds, and we could break up, and you're not taking half of my stuff or anything. So I like my own convillas. And then she also said she don't want to be a stay-at-home mom either. So I like to have my own change and whatnot. And then we have more conversations about that and whatnot. She said, "Oh," but then she was asking, "Oh, why are you asking this? Is it because?" I said, "No, because y'all strangers." So at the end of the day, even though you didn't marry at first sight, y'all still clearly strangers. So sign the papers. What they get mad for? And they have sex. Now, at first, I don't think they have sex the first night, but they had sex the night that her mother got married. I said, "How you got sex with a man like your mother got married, then not sex with your mother?" And then the whole thing about this sex thing, because I was like, they grown, they can do whatever they want. But I feel like y'all just met each other. Y'all don't even know each other to that point yet. So maybe even though y'all got technically y'all officially got married, y'all should just wait and feel each other out, get to know each other, what your likes and what your likes and dislike, how you feel about each other, what it is. Try to get to know each other more than trying to get physical. And sometimes you get physical too quickly, it kind of like muddle things. Sometimes it complicates things. So I wish that these contestants would slow it down in the sexual department, even if they did get married. Because y'all technically marry a stranger. It's not like somebody you met already, y'all got to know each other, then y'all get married and then whatnot. But hey, y'all grown, y'all do what you want to do. And that's that. Anything else that happened before that? Like I said, both Wanda and Pat jumped in the pool. She was like, "Let's do this." She jumped in the pool with her on wedding dress. He jumped in with his tuxedo. And they had a good time. They enjoyed. I feel like I think Pat and Wanda had sex as well. And she was glowing. She enjoyed it. She said her man is fine. I said, "Go ahead, Wanda. Your man is fine." And when I saw they got on a honeymoon trip, and that's that. So when they was going on a trip, they was riding to Panama. Pat sent it like a group text to the people of Mile High Club. Usually that means that who could basically have a sexual intercourse in an airplane while they're traveling, usually in the bathroom. That's basically what they call Mile High Club. Who could get along, get it in the airplane with your couple in the air trip. So a lot of people said, "No, I'm not doing this. This not. I ain't doing this." Josh and Jaden, they completed the challenge, and it was really quick. But I said, "Why y'all so eager to complete the challenge? Can y'all calm the hell down?" So and then, hold up, let me take this one. Josh and Jalen, let me take this one. See, that's some of the pictures. Y'all know people. Yeah, that's it. So Josh and Jalen, they did a challenge. I said, "Oh, y'all so eager." Okay, I don't know how that happened. So Brittany and Will, All right. So then I was like, now I started seeing why Brittany, your relationships ended so quickly. Because I don't know, you probably get too attached or whatnot and whatnot. Don't get me saying, don't get me wrong. Will got his moments with him too. But at this moment, I understand where he was coming from. Because I guess that first night, the honeymoon night, they just met each other. They don't even know each other that well yet. And like I said, I wish they wait. But you know, most of these couples who they get in the show, they get married, they want to hunch, whatever. So their honeymoon phase. And I guess she said she wanted to put her nice little lingerie, whatever she is, her nice little suit on. She said she wanted to be nice for him. So I guess they was getting intimate, and I think he pulled back, and he would say, you know what, we need to get each other, we need to know, get to know each other a little bit more. Want to wait. I don't want to feel like you being rushed or pressured, and let's get to know each other more and everything, and then we could revisit this again. So basically saying, let's take it slow. That's what he was saying. I know we went intimate. I know we hot and heavy, but let's take it slow with each other. Which I don't feel like that was a bad thing. I feel that was a good thing because at the end of the day, you don't know him. He doesn't know you. And I don't want to feel like sex will muddle things and it get complicated the next day and whatnot. And you feel like, oh, you regret having the sex and everything. Now, however, and he said he put back and he wants you to take it slow and then should wait to have the intimacy and have the sex. She was not happy with that. So to the point that she got really upset about that and said it was awkward. She felt like I guess she in her mind she felt rejected by him or he didn't like it. But I said I don't know if when he liked it or not. I don't think he didn't want to have it. I think he just said that just take it slow and just wait to do this, which I feel like that's a mature thing to do. Because when you have sex too quickly in a relationship, it could complicate things. And she seemed like she didn't want that. She was like, "No, if I wanted the, I want the nookie nookie. You better give me the nookie nookie when I ask for the nookie nookie, and no telling me to wait and all like that." So I said, "Oh, okay." So it get a little intense when she try to explain things and whatnot. She getting frustrated because then he trying to just escalate it and say, "I'm sorry, apologize. I mean, that's not what I meant." And whatnot. I just want to like take it slow. And then she kept going on, and then then once he can't just escalate the situation, and it kept going on and on and on about that. Then he started shutting down, and then he started being contrarian, and then he started being like difficult with his little answers and responses, and little quick little jabs or not like assaults, jabs, but little like quick little rants about happening. And then he started getting a little tick and saying things that will further not help the situation. So like I said, they two communication styles crazy because she get too already intense about her emotions and it was coming too quickly because I said, girl, I understand to take it slow. And I don't think why y'all all rushing to have sex with each other when you just know only met each other. Y'all don't even know each other yet. Most of y'all ain't even learned their last names yet. Y'all just got married, don't even know the person's last name and whatnot. You don't even know that person have any diseases or any health complications, all because y'all in the honeymoon. So she felt like he became distant, and again the energy became a little off between those two. And but when he was trying to explain himself, I felt like she kind of like dismissed his feelings as well, and why he felt the need to take these slow and not want to rush to have sex with you and not. Now, whether you're attracted to her or not, is more. We need to know more about the interaction in real life he does, because sometimes we do know some guys will have sex with you and they're not attracted to you. And I don't know his pulling back is the reason because he's not attracted to her, or he pulled back because he really felt that he should take it slow. So, as I guess if we have more conversations, this scenario, and then maybe the reunion comes, we get more clarifications about that whole interaction. But that's that. Now, Jada said she's not out there as a person. Now, Josh, he said, oh, he like the wilderness, he like the animals, he like the trees, he like the birds, like this, all that, sort of that. And she said, nah, I'm not all into that. So I don't know why you so so bug out about that, because you say he talked about Buzz and he cool the Buzz and took all of that. And she said, oh no, I'm not that. Now, sometimes it takes someone to bring that out of you. And I'm not saying that, Josh, you need to really, really go too extreme to take her to the outdoors, stuff like that. But sometimes it might be, because I'm not an outdoors person myself either, but I like to go out to like to eat or to a lounge or to dance. And I do like to try things, new things every now and then, but not too extreme now and then of things. Listen. Right. So I think he took like a safari kind of type of trip. And they were driving, riding, and they seen the little animals and stuff. And something like that was cute. If you will, partner and y'all together, y'all would enjoy the stuff like that. And she, they was riding the boat, and she was able to feed a monkey, and it was cute. And she enjoyed it. So like I said, sometimes it may take someone to bring that out of you, but ease that up, ease it up. Don't just go throw it in my face so quickly. So she got a ticket from Josh to an event called Burning Man. And and how you explaining it, I would say first of all, the name don't even sound that appealing for me to want to try to go to an event called Burning Man. And then second, how he explained it, it's kind of like it's like an outdoor kind of event. Even though she told you she's not an outdoor person, and he said he go, I think he go like once a year and whatnot. He want to experience things, and she would enjoy it. I said, how you know if I'm gonna enjoy it? Don't speak for me. If I go out there, maybe I will, but we don't know. But it seems like it's not no hotel, it's no glamping kind of trip, and not like I said, oh, I don't know how she would feel about that. And even I was like, oh, what is this kind of event? But we ain't gonna be no wilderness and them thing, and then try to survive or stuff like that. Survival the fittest. I said, I want that catered meals and all that stuff like that. I did camping before, so I'm not a big against it. But tell me more about this Burning Man trip. So we'll see how that goes. Oh yes. Let me tell you about this part. Pat and Wanda. This is why I started seeing something about Pat that I'm not liking. Because Pat like to talk about himself a lot, and he don't like to listen, or he don't listen to others, and it's all about him. Because they having a conversation. I guess they had a looking that night. They was enjoying themselves, or something like that. So at this point, they need to start seeing each other and start learning about each other, right? So they have a conversation. They had breakfast, and they was chatting. He was going on and on about himself, about his face, about this, about that, and she was just sitting there listening. And the editing going. It seemed like he's just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and she just listening and just sitting there listening to him, listening to him, to listen to him. Right? I don't even think he really asked any questions. He just loved it. He's one of the people who just have stories for days, and when he has somebody, he just let it out. Just tell you all these stories, all these adventures, all this stuff like that. Like he lived. I mean, yeah, granted, he's 59, so I understand he might have a lot of things, a lot of experiences, and one that he could share. But also learn your partner too. You're the husband, you need to learn your wife. Right? So while she had a moment, a chance to speak of herself, she told about a traumatic experience she had. Like how she liked to sleep with no TV on. The reason why she liked to sleep with a TV on because she said at one point she got robbed. And when she got robbed, she needs to I think she said I like to sleep with TV on, the lights on, one of those two. But she said she got robbed, and so to avoid that happening, she would like to have things on so people don't realize she's a house and she's probably somebody's up. Really that. While he's saying that, and it seemed like really something important, he gonna say, "Oh, he gonna just breathe," and it's one of the things. And I said, "Breathe is a kind of cheese." So I said, "Buster, really?" And who? I wish Quaker Will was here because I was like, she could tell you. I was so freaking annoyed. I was not. I was annoyed with that. I said, she tell you about a traumatic experience, or all you could say and really focus on is some freaking cheese. But Brie, She said something, and you didn't act a follow. He said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened? Like, what happened after that? What you little thing? What you like? Sorry. How you cope with that?" And when he asked no follow-up questions, he just went on by himself. "Oh, this is a breeze. Oh, this is a breeze cheese." And I said, "Boy, if I'm telling you about something, don't even talk about no freaking cheese, bitch." I was so done with him with that. I said, "Nah." She called him out on it, and I'm glad she did because she said, "Listen, you like to talk to yourself, but you don't ask no follow-up questions with me, and I'm trying to talk to myself. You don't listen to what I'm saying." And even that moment when she talked to him about that, he proceeded to talk about himself again. And she said, "This is exactly what I'm talking about." And then I had to start to learn. He said, "Oh my gosh." Yes, I'm glad that Rhonda's not playing with him. She said, "I enjoy it. You may have a good dick or whatever it is, but you need to start listening to me too. And let's share a lot of experiences. Because yes, I love to listen to you, but can you listen to me too? And when I tell you about something about myself, act like be there and be present in the conversation and follow up with me. But don't think about yourself and think about cheese when I'm talking about my traumatic experience." I said, "Boy, I know Wanda was looking at him. She's like, cheese, my dude. Hey, Queso, how you doing, boo? I just talking about you. Remember, I was so annoyed about that cheese conversation with Pat and Wanda. She talking about she get involved, and he talking about some cheese. I was so freaking annoyed. So she was saying she's not feeling no romantic vibes with him like that. Like, you need to be romantical. You need to romance me. And it's not just because you're in the bed, trying to take me down. I need to be some romance. I need some flowers. I need to like do some things. Do some like new dinner dates. Romance me. I don't care I'm 63 years old. I still need to be romanced by the man. You a man. Child. You been married before. You know how to romance a chick. You better. Or better learn how to. How? So Brittany said she usually moves quickly in her relationship. I said we can tell. Because if you say all your relationship ends by the 3 month marking period, then you rush this thing with your relationships. And I can tell you rushed it because you were trying to rush to have sex with freaking Will and not even knowing who he is. And all because y'all was married. You still married a stranger. So I said, yes, you moved too quickly. And I think y'all need to slow it down and stop rushing things. And I see some more traumatic experience because she get triggered easily. And I said, what's happening in your past relationship that you get so triggered? For real, you know what documentaries and some cheese. I was like, child, he didn't care what word she said. I was with Rhonda. I said, boy, I fucking told about getting involved, and you talk about some cheese, bitch, and some documentaries and all this extra stuff, and you didn't even listen to what the hell I said. So I'm glad she called him out. So Brittany want Will to commit to share his feelings. I said yes. I think Will, you need to start committing to share your feelings because I think that's what it is. Because you can't just always use all intellect and not emotions. Intellect is not just only social intellect. You need to be emotionally intelligent. Or not mental. You can be educational intelligent, mentally intelligent, emotional intelligent. Come on, it's different degrees. So you can might be smart book wise and saying your big words and your terminology and using like correct sentences and speaking properly. It's also you need to have the bandwidth of learning how to emotionally emote yourself and communicate. Or don't think that you, because you're so smart, that somebody else opinions doesn't matter and they are dumb and they're not up to your league. Because he come across as he a know-it-all. Yeah, and she can ask questions. And he said, ask some questions about him. If you want to know him about him, ask him some questions and whatnot. That's what I'm saying. You want to jump in the bed and so quickly want to have sex and feel like you rejected because he said he want to take things slow with you, but you didn't even ask him what kind of question. You didn't ask him what he is, how his relationship was, what kind of thing, what kind of man he is. But you so bothered that he said he didn't want to have sex with you. I said, girl, hope you're not the one that was pregnant by him. Because I said, girl, that would be crazy. Now I'm thinking the amount of sex that I figure Jada and Josh is having, they might be the one. But if somebody gonna get pregnant in this season, I said, how the fuck y'all getting pregnant? What the hell y'all doing? Y'all not protecting yourself? Y'all even know y'all gonna figure say yes to the decision day you get pregnant. Get the hell out of here. Somebody, you better stop. So Wanda told Pat, she said, listen, you're not listening. I don't feel like you are interested in learning about her. And she was explaining her stuff, and then she was getting choked about explaining her experiences and her upbringing. And when she first gave the criticism, he then proceeded to talk about himself. And she said, see, listen. And then when she was not letting up, he said, okay, let me calm down. Then she started talking more about herself, and then she talking up, and then he started understanding. He said, oh my God, I apologize, I'm sorry, listening. And then he started listening. I said, that's right. Because Wanda seemed like she got a good lady, Savannah. So Megan and Derek, something about their relationship is off too, because I don't know how they feel about each other. It's like, did he really want him or not? Or she too worried about her family thing? I think she doing this because she don't care, but then she started having control because at one point, because of her work life, she always in control. Yeah, she's a good woman, Savannah. Exactly. Right? So Megan said she liked to give control outside the marriage. I don't know if she wanted to give up that control. I think that's what I think she's trying to say. She's trying to give up that control because she's on work life. She's in control. So when she's home, she like to have the person take the lead, the man take the lead. And Derek say he wants to take the lead in the role in the relationship. Traditional sense. The man take the leading role and the woman is a follow, and especially if he's have a good sense of direction, she will follow his lead. She wants to give that. But I think she's gonna have a hard time giving that because so much of her personality is about having control, especially with the mom that she's dealing with. So she trying to hold on to much of control as much as possible because the mom is controlling herself, and she's very opinionated and whatnot. So and also, she also work a business with her family. So to have that, and then it bleeds into your relationship. So it's very hard, even though she wants to give it that up. It's very hard to give that up. And I can tell you that might be a challenge, a struggle in Degan. Ooh, I'm coming out both the names, Megan and Derek relationship. So, so we see that he answered her questions exactly. She an independent woman. Question. I know that's right. Tell you how to feel about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. Are you really steady when you're feeling lonely? When it's all up, and please up and leave. Question. Shoes on my feet, she bought it. It's all depend on me if I want it. I know that's right. She's an independent woman. So we asking questions. He asking questions and everything. Question. Uh-huh. He not getting no reciprocation from her. It's like, okay, it's a two-way street. We married together. If you wanted to give control and have the man take a lead, you need to ask him questions to see how he will be in leading or whatnot. Learn about him, learn about his upbringing, about his life, and what and things in that nature. But if you not ask him anything, and it seems like he asking on the question, it's like pulling teeth, trying to ask you questions. Then you gonna still feel like that he's intimidating you. I said, no, it's not intimidation, it's like communication. If he asks you a question, maybe follow with a question of your own from that same conversation. How about you? What you do? What you this like that? And I don't know. It don't seem like she's that interested. But she just loved the abs. Oh my god, the abs. The abs. You see the abs on that motherfucker? He got the abs. You so happy that he got abs, but you cannot ask him any of those freaking definite questions. Hell, shit, you can do simple. You have to go too deep yet. What you like to do to have fun? What's your hobbies? What's your idea of romantic date? What place you like to go to? If you like to travel, to the last place you travel to, something. Keep it light and fun if you don't want to go too serious yet, and then eventually get to seriousness. Now I don't know if they had sex or not. I think they did. They probably did. But yeah, they did have a conversation. Like she said, she liked country music. He don't like country music as much. He liked more electronic music, EDM, whatever that's what she called it, EDM. So she said she don't know about that. I said, don't even try to get no differences about this country music or whatever like that. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You like your kind of music, he like his kind of music. Y'all can make it work. It is what it is. It's not really a big deal. But then again, he was saying that he had some night terrors because I think at one time they were sleeping and everything. He woke up in the middle of the night and then he was saying something and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I was scared too. I said, well, what the fuck is going on here? Night terrors. And then he said at one point his father was on the boat and everything. And then his father was walking around the boat every now and then. He was up and everything. His father got history of night terrors. So I guess he inherited that himself or whatever. So I said, are you afraid? You was nervous? What was going on? What triggered your night terrors? Because that could be scary. Waking up in the middle of the night, your man just also on your woman just standing up, talking to himself and doing things. And I said, oh my gosh. Hey, Empress Boo, what's going on? So they should have fun. Like then, they start seeing dates. You know, when Jaden and Josh were going on dates and stuff like that, he was taking her to like safari trails, and then he took her to a place that the Panama Trail, whatever that's called, and he gave her the new upgraded ring. So yes, they should have fun. They go on dates and everything. You know, with Chad and Belinda went to like shopping. They should, but it's up to the couple. Some couples don't seem like they have fun. They want to sit down and have conversations all damn day. It's like that. So I think in the mix of, especially when this is like a fast process, and it's only like this is an 8-week experiment. They had to have the fun and conversations, but also they had to have the fun, but also have the conversations as well. Because by the end of the 8 weeks, they had to make decision day whether they're gonna stay together or not. So they had to learn as much as possible from the person. But at the same time, y'all on the honeymoon, yes, y'all should have the fun. And when you're on the fun, maybe have light-hearted conversations. And then when you sit down in your bedroom or whatnot, then you should have the little bit more hard conversation, because you cannot escape by this whole experiment without asking these questions, because you need to know. So you don't want to have too much fun, but you don't also want to bore me your freaking trip by just having these conversations and it's so serious all the time and you're not having fun. So they should have a balance. So y'all need to get it together, y'all couples, and do that. So Pat and Londa, they said they love each other. I said, oh. Already? Now, they're not probably like in love with each other, but the fact that you said, I love you too, I said, good, y'all doing way too much. Y'all so quick. What's going on, y'all? Yeah, it all depends on the couples, basically, if you would be honest. Because some will have that balance of fun and challenging. Some will just have fun and not have a conversation. Some will just have a lot of conversation. So it had to be a mix of balances, but based on the couples. That's what sometimes when we see a couple that have so much turmoil, like Brittany and Will, it seemed like they wasn't really having any fun. See, after she got rejected when he wanted to take it slow, she just had been on one. It's just been constantly on one with him. And because now he's can't help the situation, then he started becoming more annoyed. And then he getting on short with her too. So it's like so Josh got an upgraded ring. And after she got her ring, she be like, he got me a little ring. Like that ring. And Belinda also got an upgraded ring from exactly. Cause Jada I said, damn, Josh, you got her figure lock and lock. That's a long, big ass lock on her finger. And you just only met the girl. So I was like, you really that love? Yeah. But I said, Jada, don't get too fooled by the locks that you got. Let's calm it down and let's see how these things goes. So the girls talking, they show their little rings and whatnot. And she's like, love the show, and she's like, they got the fire, they got the fire goose. They got the pom pom. Boom boom, the night that a man have to cheat. Phone take a picture. Yeah, they got that fire nookie. They got their rings upgraded. Everybody else is like, whatever. But I would say, I don't know why we buying upgraded rings. We don't even know if we're going to stay together or not. We can probably do that if we say yes is decision day, then you get the upgraded ring. But that's just me. You just deal with the little freaking rinky dink freaking rings that the freaking show provide. I said, oh, those freaking rings look dusty. I don't know the rings you're buying. Chill. The bands look copper. I said, can you at least get a diamond or something? Or they silver, gold or something. So Derek and Megan talk. He asked criticism of her, similar to Wanda had with Pat, and that he wants her to be interested in him. And I know she took it hard about that. I don't know. She just had a whole other attitude, like she didn't know where this coming from. Because they was on that freaking skiing trip. They was on not skiing trip, waterboating, whatever that called. You get on the boat, surfboard. They were surfboarding, and when they was doing that, he proceeded to ask Like he said, listen, is anything I don't feel like you want to ask me questions. Because he said that, then it's like her whole mood changed. She said, I don't know where this coming from and like that. I said, girl, I don't know what the hell you thought it was coming from, because when he was talking to you, you was asking no questions. So that's where he coming from. But I feel like there was a time and place. I feel like that was not the time to bring that up. Maybe you should have brought that up when you was in the bedroom together and have a sit down and say, I want to bring something up and whatnot. But y'all surfboarding, y'all was having a good time, y'all was laughing when you were falling down in the water, and then you brought something serious. I mean, if it was in your mind, it's in your mind, but you could have at least bring that up another time, like later on, right? So with that, oh yeah, the next set of episodes is tonight. So y'all want to watch more, y'all let me know and not like that. If not, I will be playing my game. But we can watch the next set of episodes. Y'all want interesting, right? So Will and Brittany, let's end with this. That was the end of season episode 4. And she was outside eating her curves and ways and said, he don't care about me because I'm up here eating by myself. He ain't come after me. He ain't come and see me when I'm down. I don't think he don't share. And then Will said, I don't give a damn. She told me what she is. She left. She left the conversation. She left out there. She want to be left. I'm not going to chase after her. I said, oh, no, that's right, Will. But then again, I said, no, y'all both is like on one, whatever. So it was very confusing with these two. Because I understand when he was coming from, I understand where she was coming from, and then all this stuff, it just go back and forth. Like I said, y'all communication style is horrible. Like she's like needy, and he's kind of like a distance a little bit, and he was trying to help the situation, but then the toxicity of Brittany, it makes it difficult. And I said, Brittany, can we calm down a little bit, girl? You start feeling like that because the fact that he said, let's take it slow and we should wait to have sex. Since then, your whole mood just switched it. Just switched. It just switched from there. Since the interaction, it just switched. So when I have a conversation, she said, I'm trying to get to know you. You're not giving me you give me like little one to the answers. You're not being elaborate. But he said, if you want me to give elaborate answers, you need to be more detailed or be more specific. So when she asks what you like, that is generic. Because if you ask me something like what I like, then I was like, I don't know what direction you asking me from. I was like, sometimes when people ask questions, they have a specific mind. And that's why when people ask questions and they came with generic, I said, so in what form? Because if you make it broad like that, I'm gonna give you a broad answer. But if you want a specific kind of answer, you need to ask a specific kind of question. So I understand what he was saying. You ask a specific question. Uh, what is your biggest tick in a relationship? That's a specific question, and he should give you a specific answer of what some of his biggest ticks are. Or your past relationships, what worked and what failed. Explain to me what happened, what's going on in your relationships. Like if you want to ask questions, like ask them questions. But if you make it so broad, what you like, how you like to have fun, this is that, and you kept your answers broadly and not specific, you're not gonna get the specific type of answer. Now, she said that. He said, well, you're not asking specific and whatnot. And then she was trying to explain herself. He said how she's like, what's the affirmation? That's her love language. Basically, she was trying to ask him what is his love language. But she was not saying that. She just go a roundabout way of asking that one question. She said, I like what's the affirmation? It's like that. I like to hear word things, it's like that, what I like that, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know what you like because you're not really saying what you like. You give me one answers and like that. It's like I like what's so what you like in relationship, how you like to be loved and what like that. It's like that. But he said, well, that's how you like. If you like that, it's like that. You cool. I said, well. She tried to get specific. She tried saying because she likes word affirmation, what way how you like to be loved. What way that I could show you by loving you by doing these type of things? Y'all follow me and y'all can tell. I don't have to say it. Y'all can really tell what's my top love language. I say it over and over and over again. Y'all put the answers in the chat if y'all remember. I say it over and over again. My second is physical touch, but my top main love language, and I've been saying it over and over. If you're not gonna get far with me if you don't have that. You don't have that. So anybody out there who try to get it with me, y'all already know. My love language is one love language. So that's what basically was asking you. But then you say, oh, if that's how you like what's information, you like this, like that's cool. That's cool. So she basically asked you, she tried to get it specific, but I said, girl, ask him what's his love language. That was the freaking answer. That was a question. And then should give you a freaking question answer. But then when she was trying to explain it, even if she was to say the words, he still didn't want to answer. I said, boy, what is your fucking, how you like to be loved? So then I started seeing how he is. He tried to make you feel dumb and thinking like make you feel like you crazy a little bit. Try to back around on him. Now, yes, her little question is and stuff like that was a little tense. And she could calm down a little bit. But boy, sir, when she's trying to like give her some leeway, you understand what she's asking you. Why the hell you being so difficult? I'll tell y'all know my love language yet. Why are you being so difficult? So because of all that, they wasn't going anywhere. They was hitting a brick wall. I said, maybe y'all need to calm down a little bit. Maybe just de-stress, unstress, release. Maybe you need to go to the bathroom, release yourself. Maybe you're going to go to the bathroom, get your rolls or something. Because y'all are all one. And then she left, goes to where? And he said, oh, she left. I don't give a damn. And she said, oh, that'll see how. I said, so what you wanted him to do? And the producer was asking. He said, well, he should have came in to check on me. And then the producer was asking him. He said, do you think he should have like maybe go check on her, see her like that? He said, no. What's the point? She made her statement known when she get out of here. If she wanted to continue to work on it, we could have stayed and to continue to work on it and try and find a solution. But the fact that she walked out of here and left out of there, I'm not going to chase after nobody. I said, ooh, look you will. Your thing is slowing, boy. Your thing is slowing. Your thing is showing. Your thing is showing. I said, I don't know how this gonna go, y'all. How y'all feel? But any last thoughts about this first 4 episodes? Because they're the honeymoon phase, but the real nitty gritty is gonna get when they go back to their shared apartments, because the show gonna get them in a shared apartment. And usually they all in the same building or not, but they're gonna get them a shared apartment and they're gonna go live together, and that's when we really gonna start seeing how the relationship goes. When they all in their regular life routine or work. They come home from work and doing chores and whatnot. And then they can see what's happening. That's when we can start having more of those conversations. Because at this point, we need to start seeing how things gonna move and whatnot, how we'll be living together. Finance gonna be, all that stuff, and yada yada. So I'm looking forward for the next set of episodes and see how that goes. I'm looking forward to the sessions when they have with the counselors, experts, and see what they could help, how they can help them navigate these scenarios. And whatnot. But Dr. P always gonna be about sexual stuff. Just how sex go, how this, how you gonna lead this. I said, girl, can you calm down? Cause I know that's your expertise area, but girl, calm the hell down. I'm not looking forward to see Dr. P that much. But that was Married at First Sight. First episodes, first 4 episodes. We'll come back next week to talk about the next set of episodes. The Bell Collective and the Unlock will be talked about next week as well. It will be the next 2 episodes, whatever. On the next episode, how I'm gonna do about that. We'll go talk about that next week. And more power to you. If anything else, y'all come on my Discord. Y'all let me know. You can discuss things over there and whatnot. I appreciate y'all coming through and chatting with me. Thank you, Queso Ware. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Shani. And everybody else who be watching the bushes. Like I said, the season's not too bad so far. And I want to see the dynamics of these people. I want to see more of interaction with Jalen and Belinda, how they navigate this process together, have heart-to-heart conversations and whatnot. And I want to see these ladies support each other more, and the guys support each other and navigate and help them, at least helping them work on their relationships. But I appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace out. All right. I see y'all soon. Talk to you later. Peace out.